Today on Softeller Tech Briefs, we're talking about how to choose the right staff augmentation company, the benefits of the model, the factors that matter most, and a practical process for selecting a partner that fits your project. When a company starts an initiative like software development, web interface design, or consumer data analysis, it often needs experienced people who can turn plans into delivery. Some organizations already have those capabilities in-house. Others turn to specialized staff augmentation companies to help source the professionals they need. Selecting a staff augmentation firm is not always straightforward. Different vendors operate differently, and those differences may not fit your project's outlook or company culture. That is why it is important to consider the variables that can affect your development work before choosing an outsourcing partner. Today, we'll walk through the key benefits of IT staff augmentation, the factors to weigh when evaluating providers, and the steps that help you choose well. Benefits of IT staff augmentation. In today's tech landscape, business leaders look for efficient ways to strengthen delivery without the full cost of permanent hiring. IT staff augmentation services support that need by providing skilled professionals on an as-needed basis. The value of the model goes further. Here are some of the major benefits staff augmentation companies can offer. Speedy project delivery. Strong staff augmentation companies know how to onboard new talent quickly. That helps development firms integrate skilled professionals into existing teams rapidly, accelerate timelines, and reduce time to market for new offerings. Access to highly specialized skills. Staff augmentation providers help IT teams bridge the gap between current capabilities and what a project requires. They tap into broader talent pools to find expertise that may be missing internally or hard to source locally. That is especially useful for niche work that needs specialists in areas such as machine learning, cybersecurity, blockchain, or cloud computing. Scalable operations. One of the standout advantages of staff augmentation is the ability to scale a workforce by project without committing to full-time employees. That flexibility matters for novel initiatives because it helps teams respond more quickly to market changes, workload swings, and project-specific issues as they appear. Cost efficiency. The model can reduce spending by limiting overhead associated with permanent hires, including benefits, training allowances, and leave pay. That frees budget for other core business priorities. Focus on essential business functions. Working with an IT staffing partner can also free organizations from carrying every technical demand themselves. More intricate, resource-heavy work can be assigned to the augmented team while in-house staff concentrate on strategic initiatives that drive growth. That balance helps keep the company focused on its broader mission while still pursuing new work. Newer perspectives. Another benefit is the fresh thinking external specialists can bring. Because augmented staff often come from diverse industries and work backgrounds, they may introduce different approaches and more effective ways of solving problems, supporting creativity and stronger product outcomes. Key factors to consider when choosing staff augmentation. When deciding how to find a staff augmentation company, several factors help IT firms make a more informed choice. Technical expertise and talent pool. Whether the work is cybersecurity, cloud computing, or software development, start with how well the staffing partner understands your industry. Providers that know your sector's challenges, standards, and regulations are more likely to help you secure the right talent for the project. Customization and control. A key benefit of staff augmentation is the ability to scale the team as requirements change. Confirm that your vendor can support that flexibility. Whether you need one developer for a month or a broader group of engineers, testers, analysts, and designers for a longer initiative, a strong partner should help you adapt as scopes and timelines evolve. Budget allocation. Clarify what you can realistically spend on staffing services. That helps you filter providers by the value they offer relative to your budget. Review the vendor's pricing model, compare it with alternatives, and weigh the total cost against hiring full-time staff. If the savings are only marginal, the investment may not be worthwhile. Compliance and risk management. Look closely at how a potential partner has handled client data and sensitive information in past engagements. A proven commitment to regulatory requirements and risk management practices is a strong signal. Make sure intellectual property rights, data security protocols, and related details are clearly covered in the contract, so ambiguities do not create friction later. Communication and support. Staffing agencies do more than recommend people. They often support project coordination, facilities or tooling needs, performance monitoring, and ongoing support for augmented teams. A reliable partner should facilitate open communication, progress updates, and clear reporting, especially when collaboration is remote. Cultural fit and integration. Even highly qualified professionals may underperform if they do not fit into how your company operates. Seamless integration into existing workflows is essential. The right vendor should have a robust matching process that considers not only skills, but also cultural compatibility. Key steps of choosing the right staff augmentation provider. Even though staff augmentation is often used for shorter-term needs, the choice of partner can affect productivity and business outcomes well beyond a single engagement. A careful process matters. Here's a practical way to approach it. Clarify your project and augmentation requirements. Before you approach a provider, build a clear view of your team and project needs. Identify where in-house capabilities fall short so you can communicate expectations precisely. As you define those demands, work through several practical questions. How much can you allocate for staff augmentation? What is the expected project duration? Do you need a dedicated team or individual contractors? Which skill sets are missing, and will those roles be needed for only part of the project or for the full timeline? Which organizational values are non-negotiable? These questions do not cover every variable, but they give you a clearer position on outsourcing and make it easier to find a vendor with the resources, expertise, and experience you need. Thoroughly assess prospective augmentation partners. Once requirements are clear, evaluate candidates carefully. Start with their experience in your industry and whether they understand the work well enough to help you reach your objectives. Most staffing agencies can source technical talent. That is the baseline. Stronger firms also help manage project-specific challenges as they arise. When assessing fit, look at 3 areas in particular. Examine their expertise and tech stack. Confirm that they have relevant field experience and proficiency with the software, hardware, and platforms your project depends on. Review their case studies and portfolios. A portfolio can reveal methodology and working style. Look for published projects and success stories, and if case studies are not readily available, ask for them directly. Solicit client references. Ask about past client experiences for a candid view of service quality. Whenever possible, speak with former clients directly to confirm how satisfied they were with the outcomes. Schedule preliminary interviews. Before finalizing an agreement, hold introductory interviews to surface practical concerns such as communication gaps or cultural differences that could affect delivery once work begins. These conversations also help you gauge how well candidates will fit your existing team and perform in a group setting. If you plan to hire specialists who will work together, a group interview can give an early view of how the unit functions as a team. Prepare role-specific and technology-specific questions in advance so you can judge whether candidates can meet your standards for delivery. Negotiate contract details carefully. By this stage, you should have defined requirements, assessed the provider, and interviewed potential team members. Now comes the agreement itself. Treat it with care because some firms rely on generic or boilerplate contracts that may not address the nuances of your project. Choose a partner willing to adapt terms to your goals and constraints. Within the contract, cover timelines, delivery schedules, compensation, feedback processes, data and intellectual property rights, and key performance metrics. If either side cannot agree on essentials that matter to the project, it may be better to look elsewhere. Sorting legal problems later can cost more than hiring permanent employees in the first place. Choose the ideal partner. The point of staff augmentation is to strengthen internal teams with external talent from a trusted partner. After screening carefully, select only from providers that meet your standards. If you have followed the earlier steps well, this final decision should be clearer. You already know the partner can deliver value and aligns with your project vision. Closing takeaway. Staff augmentation can help IT firms manage staffing gaps and workload spikes, but choosing the right partner takes more than a generic hiring checklist. Define requirements clearly, assess providers thoroughly, interview potential team members, and capture project details in a strong service agreement. The ultimate goal is still simple. Connect your team with professionals who have the skills to move the project forward. Following this process may not cover every edge case, but it puts you in a stronger position to choose well. If you'd like to learn more about software development, AI, cloud, data engineering, and digital transformation, visit us at softeller.com.